Is it me or 2017 movies just look like they suck? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I just am not interested in any 2017 movies this year. I mean, a few of them I am, but, you know, not all of them. Because they all look like they suck to me. Like, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I am not interested in that movie in the slightest. It looks like more of the same. Like, but cranked up to 11. I don't understand. Why is it that the only movies that can get good sequels is the Captain America films? I don't get it. And don't tell me, well, every sequel is good, because you people want to like this shit no matter what. I don't want to hear it. I just think this movie looks like it just doesn't offer anything new. The trailers don't even show the plot. Like, the teasers I understand. Like, the teasers are teasers. Don't listen to this dolt and tell you, oh, but teasers must show the plot. No, they don't. They don't have to show the plot. If actual trailers are not showing the actual plot of the film, that is a totally different story. And this movie has not shown a speck of plot. Like, all we know is that, you know, there's a bunch of gold people and they're flying around and they're shooting big guns and then Kurt Russell. That's it. What the hell? And then we got King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Anyway, we got Alien Covenant. I mean, again, people are gonna hate this shit no matter what because it's new, but even if it's good or actually, you know, is true enough to the source material of Alien, it's just, people are gonna find some reason to bitch about it. Fantastic. I myself don't find it interesting at all, but me it's more of, you know, it doesn't look interesting rather than it's new and it's ruining my childhood, which is like the dumbest statement I've ever fucking heard. Really? Is it really ruining your childhood? Then there's Baywatch, following the tradition of Green Hornet and 21 Jump Street, turning these pretty serious properties into fucking comedies. Don't get me wrong, you know, The Rock is always a good thing in a movie, because at least he can act. You know, but I just kind of wonder, are they ever going to make these movies a little more serious at some point? Like, give me a serious Green Hornet movie, okay? Like, with Seth Rogen, what they did with Seth Rogen, and like, I just don't understand what the hell that was about. Here's one of the few movies I am kind of interested in, which is Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Supposedly is the last movie in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. But then again, they said that the final adventure begins, rather than, oh, it's the final adventure. Like, no, they said begins. So this might be part one of a two-part, you know, finale or something. Like the Harry Potter movies, basically. You know, the last two Harry Potter movies were just one big movie split into two parts. So there's that. And then there's something else. I forget.
Who would wield it?
Only the fiercest among us even could. And that is not you, Diana.
Never let your guard down. You expect the battle to be fair!
Until she is better than even you.
What are you?
I am Diana of Themyscira.
Yep, that's not gonna work. Please put the sword down.
It doesn't go with the outfit.
At all.
I forgot. Whatever it is, I'll probably see a commercial for it eventually. Then we got The Mummy. Now, normally I'm not too crazy about reboots and stuff, but in the case of like this movie and of course Kong Skull Island, the reboots actually make sense. Because if the Kong Skull Island reboot makes sense because they want to do a Godzilla versus King Kong movie, that's fine. Because you don't want to have Peter Jackson's Kong, which is pretty much dead right now, fight up against Godzilla, who is like 1,000 times taller than that fucking thing. Don't get me wrong, I love the Peter Jackson movie. I'm just saying, in terms of scale, Kong wouldn't stand a chance against the new Godzilla. So having the new Godzilla versus the new Kong makes sense. Having this new Mummy set in the Universal Monster Universe, cinematic universe, which, by the way, was one of the first cinematic universes. Stop with this Marvel first. Marvel did it first. No, they didn't. They just did it first with superheroes, nothing more. There was cinematic universes way before Marvel even thought about doing movies. or even, I think even before Marvel comic books was a thing. So, you know, let's stop that poor shit. But yes, the Mummy, you know, Mummy being rebooted as part of this new Monster Cinematic Universe, that is fine. I have no problem with that. And Sophia Botella, oh my love. And then there's Cars 3. Oh, so they went from this dark and pretty grim trailer to now back to regular Cars shit. Like, I didn't care about the dark and grittiness of the original trailer. It's just that it just gave me this impression that it's going to be a very dark, like Toy Story 3 type of movie, which wasn't dark itself. It had dark bits in it, like, you know, the toy's about to fucking be incinerated, you know, and whatnot. But other than that, it was not a really dark movie. It was a sad movie, knowing it was the end of an era of one of the best Pixar movies of all time. But it wasn't very dark. This movie, I thought, was going to go that route, and then they decided, no, let's make it like Cars again, like Cars 1 and 2. And considering Cars 2 sucked and Cars 1 sucked also, I guess this one might suck. I don't know. It's always funny when people say that Marvel Cinematic Universe is like Pixar, because by saying that, you're also saying that, you know, Marvel has some shitty movies. I can't think of a single person that said Cars 2 was a great film. Maybe there are probably people out there who think it's a good film, and that's fine, but I've seen more people trashing Cars 2 than there were people saying it's good. So I guess it sucks by default. By unanimous decision, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I know for a fact it sucks. I saw the damn thing, but I don't know what the general consensus is. You know, I'm just going by the most of the fucking comments I've seen saying the second one sucked. You know, and even Jeremy Johns said Marvel's like Pixar with no real Cars 2, which is a lie, because there's plenty of Cars 2. In fact, there's a Cars 2, there's a good dinosaur, and if you really want to stretch it, there is a Finding Dory also. That's if you really want to stretch, you know, if you really want to just dump Finding Dory into that list. But I don't think Finding Dory was that bad. I just thought it was unnecessary. But yeah, there's shit movies on both sides. And then there's this movie, Rough Night. What kind of blackmail material do they have of Scarlett Johansson to make her do this movie? And Zoe Kravitz. In fact, Zoe Kravitz is the only reason I might be interested in this movie. According to the trailer, she might be getting eaten out or something. That's a good thing. Zoe Kravitz getting eaten out is a great thing. Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Monet did a very good job creating that. My God. Then there's this garbage. Transformers in the Last Night. Fucking everybody and their mother has been talking about feminist propaganda for the Star Wars movies, and based on this new Star Wars cartoon, I kind of think they might be right. But this movie is way worse.
They'd say, you run like a girl, you throw like a girl, you fight like a girl.
Fight like a girl? Yeah, I fight like a girl. Don't you?
That doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. And what the fuck is this?
Calm down! You think I'm afraid of you?
Why isn't she a fucking ragu splat all over the fucking pavement? What? Michael, what are you doing? This goes back to my Net Alien 17 rant, where I said, if you don't like some movie, if you go watch a movie that you know is gonna suck and you think is gonna suck, and then you come out of it saying it sucks, that's your fucking problem. I know this movie's gonna suck. I'm not gonna fucking waste my time and energy on this fucking movie. I'm done with this franchise as a whole. This bullshit. Then there's Baby Driver, a movie written and directed by Edgar Wright. That's all I need to say. Go see that shit. If it sucks, then, you know, then it sucks. But I have the utmost faith in Edgar Wright, so there's that. Then there's Despicable Me 3. Did they really need a third movie? Wasn't Minions enough? And then here comes Spider-Man Homecoming. Yes, the movie that I will say is the Force Awakens of fucking Marvel films. What does that mean? Well, the Force Awakens was a movie that people were gonna like no matter what, because they were so desperate to see another movie that wasn't in the hands of George Lucas that they'll accept anything that's not George Lucas related. Spider-Man Homecoming is a movie that people will like no matter what, because they were so desperate to see the Spider-Man rights out of the hands of Sony that they'll like anything that's not related to Sony at all. The worst part of all is that this movie is good. Whatever is done wrong with this movie, whatever this movie does wrong, people are just gonna blame Sony, and it just sucks. When is people gonna start holding Marvel responsible for their mistakes? Stop fucking absolving them of their mistakes. Marvel fucked up. Deal with it. Stop sitting there putting the blame on everyone else. Like that last trailer where they started showing almost the whole fucking movie in that one trailer. Everyone's trying to blame Sony. Stop it. When are people gonna hold Marvel responsible for their mistakes? We have no trouble holding DC, Fox, and Sony accountable for their mistakes. Why is Marvel any different? Enough. I don't care if they gave us the Avengers. If they do something fucked up, blame them only. Blame them. Stop blaming everyone else. Anyway, and in fact that this movie looks no different from a Sony film is even more mind-boggling. Like, this movie looks no different from the Amazing Spider-Man movie. But again, people will like this no matter what because, you know, Iron Man's in it and it's Spider-Man in a Marvel film. So I'm not saying it'll suck, but it doesn't look that interesting to me at all because it looks no different from the fucking Sony movies. But again, this will make money no matter what because there's Spider-Man in the title and there's Iron Man in it and there's a bunch of Avengers references in there. And that makes the movie good by default. So, wow. Cinema is truly dead. Cinema is truly dead when we put brands over actual quality. And then we got War for the Planet of the Apes. Another movie that actually looks very interesting to me. You know, the only movies I was looking forward to before anything related to Pirates of the Caribbean and War for the Planet of the Apes, the only two movies I was looking forward to was John Wick Chapter 2 and Logan. And so slowly but surely, some of these other movies are looking interesting. Pirates of the Caribbean is one. War for the Planet of the Apes is another. There's at least one more movie, but we'll talk about that in a second. This one looks like, I mean, the first movie was good. The second movie was great. I have every bit of hope for this one. Although this could fall into the trilogy curse where the first one's good, second one's great, third one is just shit. I have high hopes for the guy directing this, but I don't know. It's not just him. It's just trilogies. Trilogies usually suck by the third movie. And then there's Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. Could be good. I mean, the guy directed to Fifth Element's directing this. I mean, and I love the Fifth Element, so I haven't seen him do any movies since. Or I mean, maybe he has done movies since, but I haven't seen him. So I have faith in the guy. I just hope this movie just doesn't suck, because Dane DeHaan's an okay actor, and then there's Cara Delevingne. Enough said. And there's Atomic Blonde again. I don't see, this just looks like a female John Wick. I mean, just like Rough Night, I just want to see Sofia Boutella, in this case, get eaten out. Again. Just like Rough Night and Zoe Kravitz, I want to see Sofia Boutella get eaten out. Again. I mean, what's wrong with Charlize Theron and Sofia Boutella going at it? I don't see nothing wrong with that. And then there's the Emoji Movie. Then there's Dark Tower. Now, a friend of mine was a big fan of Dark Tower, and he said, there's no real way of doing this on film. So I'd be interested in hearing his take on it. I haven't spoken to him in a while, so I didn't even know this movie existed until recently. So, but I would like to hear his thoughts on this movie. Then here comes the only other movie, one of the only other movies that I'm interested in. But technically, this isn't a new movie, so it kind of doesn't count. But the hell, I am still excited to see this. Terminator 2 Judgment Day in 3D. I don't care if this is in 3D, 2D, 4D, Romascope. I don't give a fuck. I want to see Terminator 2 Judgment Day in theaters. I love Judgment Day, and I thought it was pretty much the only good Terminator movie in this franchise. Terminator 1 may have been good for most people. I didn't really care for it. Judgment Day was the fucking greatest movie ever. And I really love this movie. I really do. I cannot wait to see this. I have to see this. This is like the only movie I might actually see in theaters because, my God, this was the fucking greatest back in the 90s. You'd swear this was a movie that would have came out today, but the fact that this kind of digital effects kind of existed in the early 90s, and meanwhile, some of these comic book movies can't even get decent special effects going, is sad and astounding. Really, it's really crazy. Then we have It. I wasn't really crazy about a It remake, but this looks like it might be interesting. I don't even know. Like, there's a two-parter, so I hope they don't go the way of The Hobbit and decided to make a fucking trilogy out of this. Just if the movie can be done, if the book can be done in 2 movies, just do it in 2 movies and call it a day. Do not make this a trilogy for no reason, because that'd be incredibly stupid. And then there's Kingsman: The Golden Circle, another movie that I'm really excited for. And this was just recently. Now, while I'm only merely interested in Pirates of the Caribbean and War for the Planet of the Apes, I am really excited for Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Now, Terminator 2 Judgment Day technically, again, does not count because it's kind of an old movie. It's old. It came out back in 91, so it's not really excited for a new movie. It's kind of old, and I'm just happy to see it in theaters. But Kingsman: The Golden Circle is a new movie, and I have every bit of faith in Matthew Vaughn for directing a sequel for once in his life, not after not directing Days of Future Past and Kick-Ass 2. I am excited that for once he's directing a goddamn sequel, and I just have every bit of hope for this movie. I hope this doesn't suck, because so far Logan and John Wick Chapter 2 have not let me down, and I don't wish this movie to fucking let me down either. Then there's the Lego Ninjago movie. I know nothing about Ninjago. I've heard about it before, but I know nothing about it. However, I did like the Lego movie, and I love the Lego Batman movie, so I hope the Lego Ninjago movie is just as good as those two are. Then there's Blade Runner 2049. I don't... Why are they making this? I'm not saying it's gonna suck. I don't know if it's gonna suck. I just don't know. Why make a sequel to Blade Runner? What is this one even gonna be about? And why are they making a sequel to Saw Legacy? Why does this exist? Saw Legacy? I thought Saw the final chapter. See, it's shit like that that makes me think they might make another Resident Evil movie. Cause Saw 7 was, I think, called the final chapter, wasn't it? So why is there a Saw 8 called Legacy? Oh my god. And then there's Thor Ragnarok. I mean, the first Thor was okay, 2 was shit. And I don't mean that in a cop-out way where people go, it's the worst one, but it's not bad. That's a cop-out excuse. Saying something's the worst, by saying something is the worst, you're automatically implying that it's bad. Why would you say something's the worst and say it's not bad? People, I encourage you, if you think these Marvel or DC movies suck, say so. Say it loud and proud. Do not let these dumb fanboys shame you into saying it's good because to make them feel better about themselves. Who gives a fuck? Thor the Dark World was garbage. It was absolute fucking garbage. I don't care. Don't like it. Too bad. Don't like me saying that it's bad. This is too fucking bad, isn't it? Thor Ragnarok, I'm not saying looks bad, but it just doesn't look great either. I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like I'm beating around the bush. It just doesn't look interesting to me at all. And the fact that they're shoehorning the Planet Hulk story into a Thor movie is just mind-boggling to me. Because you're already getting rid of the fucking World War Hulk story. Like, that Planet Hulk led into World War Hulk, but now that's gone, and even Planet Hulk is gone, because Planet Hulk was dealt with the Illuminati, which it doesn't exist yet in this movie universe, but in the comics, it dealt with the Illuminati sending Hulk off into space. And now he ended up on this other planet. He became this gladiator warrior. And then he came back and got his revenge on the Illuminati. By the way, the Illuminati, at least from what I remember, consisted of Mr. Fantastic, Professor X, Iron Man, Black Panther, and Black Bolt, I believe, and Doctor Strange. But again, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they don't exist yet because Mr. Fantastic isn't in the MCU yet, and neither is Professor Xavier. But a good chunk of the Illuminati is already in here, so that's a good thing. I can only imagine they'll probably introduce them in some form in Infinity War, but shoehorning Planet Hulk into a Thor movie just seems like a really bad idea to me. And we got the Justice League. Wow. I mean, this looks alright, I guess, but I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, someone said online, I forget who it was, what YouTuber it was, but said that it's almost kind of become cool and hip to hate DC, and I kind of agree. Because I feel like no matter how many good things they do, like, people will only focus on the negative, because they've become the anti-Marvel. No matter how many bad things Marvel does, people are going to still say it's good. No matter how many good things DC does, people are only going to focus on the negatives and say, nope, there's all these negatives, and oh, there's more good than negatives, but still there's these negatives and they suck. Same with Marvel. Yeah, there's all these negatives, but there's some of these good things, and that makes it amazing. What? Granted, I'm not really interested in Justice League at all, but whatever. Then there's Coco. I'm still mildly confused about what this movie's about. Like, so he like plays a guitar and he's dead or something? Is that what happened? Like he died or something playing guitar? Wow. And then there's Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Was barely interested in The Force Awakens. I didn't like it that much. Rogue One was okay. This, I hope, is better. I mean, Rian Johnson is pretty good. Is a pretty good director. I mean, Brick and Looper were pretty good, so I mean, there's that. And then, last but not least, is Jumanji, starring The Rock. Yeah. Anyway, those are 2017 movies this year. I hope they're all good at least. I doubt it. Some I just kind of know they're gonna be. I mean, I'm telling you, the Emoji Movie is gonna be this year's Fantastic. I'm telling you, people are gonna hate this shit no matter what. Wow. There's some that I am excited for, like even after Logan and John Wick, I'm still super excited for Kingsman: The Golden Circle. So there's that. Other than that, I mean, they're not all gonna be good, and I don't think they're all gonna be bad. You know, I already told you about my feelings with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and the fanboys who attacked Jeremy Jahns simply because he gave it a low review, a low rating. And you all are sitting there defending this movie that a majority of you idiots haven't seen yet. Why the fuck are you defending this movie? You haven't even seen it. You can't defend a movie you haven't seen and sit there and go, well, he did give a good review to Suicide Squad. When, what's funny about that complaint is you people had no problem with him reviewing giving a good rating to Suicide Squad when he was giving a good rating to Doctor Strange. And had he gave a good rating to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, that whole Suicide Squad thing still wouldn't have been a problem to you idiots. But of course, you know, he gave it the rating you didn't want, and now all of a sudden it's a problem. Fantastic. Oh, cinema, like I said, cinema is going to fucking hell in a handbasket.